before the playoffs, week 1, Gillian Speech. Their fullback is Cardis, Westwood, Gross, Domick and Gaskell the three-quarters. Apo is alongside Wood. The forwards, Fozzard, Gleeson, Paul Wood, Noon, Wainwright and Burns. So there's no Lee Breers and no John Clark in the Warrington lineup. Sibbett, Gissay, Stevens and Hulse are on the bench and Paul Cullen is the coach. Along the corridor inside the Wigan Warriors dressing room, they're just about at full strength. Radlinski, Dallas, Aspinwall, Hodgson and Carney, O'Loughlin and Lamb, who returns to the starting lineup, as does Pongia and Newton. Smith completes the front row, Cassidy, Tickle and Farrell the captain. And the substitutes for Wigan, Johnson, O'Connor, Robinson and Hock, and the coach is Mike Gregory. A magnificent atmosphere inside the JJB Stadium, made so by the travelling army of Warrington Wolves supporters who have filled one end of this stadium. They have drowned out the Wigan Warriors.
By those 2 points, it was the first time that Mike Gregory had been in charge. They are the form side at the moment, but don't write Warrington off. We said it's going to be tough. Hold on to your horses, here he comes.
And Fozzard with the first run. And he's not tackled, now he is. He plays the ball to Darren Burns. That's an encouraging start for Nick Fozzard. Yes, it was 18-6 at Wilderspool. Early this year, Wigan beat Warrington 21-20 on this ground. Andy Farrell, returning from injury, won it with a drop goal. And as we know from Paul Cullen, who was our guest at St Helens last evening, Warrington very much up for this.
Good work from Gleeson there.
Nathan Wood with a kick over the top and he's leading the chase. It's work for Brian Carney to do in the corner there. Look at the chase from Warrington. Enthusiastic. Carney plays the ball to Radlinski and here now is young Aspinwall.
No doubt in my mind, Wigan a little bit nervous.
But it's a vital night for them. It's a vital night for Warrington as well.
But what a great tactic, the chase, and they'll be doing this all night. Nathan Wood, he knows exactly what is needed when you just kick into the corner, chases on, there it is. Look at them swarming around. There was no way in the world that the winger could get anywhere upfield.
It's the last tackle here for Wigan. They're deep inside their own half. It goes to Lamb, the kicker. And the kick downfield will be picked up over on that far side by young Dean Gaskell. And Cassidy with the tackle on him.
It's important now that Wigan just make sure that their one line of defence is straight. There's nothing worse early in a match if you keep falling off the ball carrier. Doesn't settle the nerves down at all.
Let's get an early call from the sideline, Bill.
Well, Eddie, I think they've kept it fairly quiet in the build-up to this game, but Wigan have had 1 or 2 problems with illness in the camp. About half a dozen of the players laid low by a stomach bug, Andy Farrell, the captain, among them. And so it's just interesting to see whether that has weakened them at all. As for Warrington, well, they are without John Clark tonight, the hooker, who broke his thumb last week, and he's desperately disappointed to be missing this one against his former club. And they were just on the outside, hoping that Lee Breers would be able to come back from his broken wrist, but he just wasn't up to it.
Yes, Paul Cullen says that the #1 priority for Lee Breers now is being fit for the first match of next season when Warrington enter their new stadium.
It's amazing how much speculation comes out when it comes to sudden death football. Last night, Paul Sculthorpe, was he going to be appearing? Yes, he was. Speculation here at Wigan. Mike Gregory, the coach, thought that he would play.
Yes, and he targeted Lee Breers in the press as well. But it's a rumbustious start, as you would expect from these 2 top 6 contenders. Farrell, that's almost a good ball inside, but he was stopped from getting the ball away by a good tackle from Brent Gross. The kick over the top will turn Dean Gaskell around. Gaskell will collect it near his own line. Chase is good.
Good position yet again. Wigan obviously feel that Dean Gaskell may be a weak point in this Warrington side. Important now not to give away a penalty, but try to keep the opposition camped down in their own quarter.
And that was Paul Wood who drove that in. Oh, that's good throw, and Apo couldn't pick it up. Wigan swoop on it in the shape of Hodgson.
Great opportunity there, just went behind him. Should have taken that, just had a little bit of a quick look.
This is Brett Dallas now for Wigan. Appo in rich vein of form this year. Newton, here comes Craig Smith. Craig Smith has been magnificent since Mike Gregory took over. They're 12 metres away, they have men on the overlap wide. And the pass is out to Carney. Carney can't get the ball away, that's good defence from Warrington. 3 tackles gone though, plenty in the bank for the Warriors. Here is Adrian Lamb. Long ball and intercepted! And Westwood has got Radlinski after him! Radlinski gets in the tackle. Quick play the ball for Warrington needed, and there it is from Appo.
He was always going to be in the way. Surely Cassidy was offside. Did he get back the full 10? Not so sure he did.
This is Darren Burns.
That was a risky pass though. Adrian Lamb wanted to get the link out wide. And I'm sure, in my opinion, that Cassidy was never going back on the 10. He's allowed the advantage, Steve Ganson, but I'm not so sure that Warrington wouldn't have liked the 2 points.
They're looking for 4 though.
5.
They're so close. And the stab through bounces off the legs. Fozzard picks it up. Flicks the pass out the back door. Oh, and another great pass from Gross. A dab to the corner looking for Westwood. It hits the corner flag, that is out.
Great pressure though. Wonderful ability to keep that ball alive. We're all involved there. It looked as though Newman was going to be involved, and there you see Cassidy.
Get off.
There's no way in the world that he has gone back even past the play the ball area. He got himself involved within 5 metres, not the required 10. That's a bad mistake by the referee Ganson. Warrington could have either gone for the 2 or to kick it right into the corner.
And here is Cassidy again, this time in attacking mode. Oh, and he's broken through the cover. And the support there on his inside. And that is Hodgson.
Looked a bit dodgy, that one.
Beg pardon, that's Dallas. This is Newton. Wide it goes. Wigan are in short.
Oh, he should have passed.
Forward. That is forward.
Golden opportunity there for Tickle. And he has bombed a certain try.
3 on 1 out wide.
No doubt about this. Cassidy got it away. It looked as though it was okay from that angle. But look at this. All he had to do was just draw Wood. And Carney would have just sailed in for the simplest of tries. Well, I mentioned the fact nerves would play its part, Eddie, but even last night there was a few players that looked to me just absolutely, well, starstruck. There was shots. Heavy stuff out there.
This is Darren Burns for Warrington. Loose forward. He's missed only 2 for Warrington all year. Graham Appo waits at dummy half. They've got the penalty.
Well, he just stuck around too long, didn't he? Newton came in there, gave him a facial. Talk about Darren Burns. He's had a wonderful season for the Wolves this year, and he leads by example.
Clear the rocks.
Here he is to restart play. Gets it in his field to Gleeson. This now is Nathan Wood. Ooh, that looked forward.
It was a forward a mile. Touch judge has seen it.
Forward.
Well, maybe not the tactics to be bringing in Wainwright and taking a step well in front.
We're going to do
Paul Cullen, no doubt, getting the message now. Look, we need to just apply that pressure. Dink it into the corner. There'll be plenty of time to do the fancy work later. Get through the hard work. That's a key factor.
Here is Martin Aspinwall, who, interestingly, was hunted by Wigan earlier in the season. By Warrington, rather, earlier in the season, and Wigan held on to it. Gave him a new deal. This is Newton. Now Farrell. Good movement from Wigan here. This is Hodgson. Flicks the pass away.
That was forward. Well, surely that's got to be a forward somewhere down the line.
Well, it's play on. This is Craig Smith. No call from the touch judge. The referee, Steve Ganson. Newton. Lamb. And Lamb floats the kick in, looking for Carney wide. Carney flicks it back. And it's picked up by the Warrington man. It was Domic.
There's a pass there. Well, that looked forward. And he flicked it back. The pressure is getting to everybody.
Well done. Good.
Well, it's do or die tonight. It's sudden death. Oh, that's a lovely dummy. This is Nathan Wood.
Missing a lot of tackles at Wigan. Could have been penalised. Radlinski there at a second shot.
Mike Wainwright now. Oh, great ball! And Wood is through. Got the pass away, and Gleeson is cut down by Pongia. Not Gleeson, beg pardon.
10 minutes, mate. He had his foot. It's a sin bin.
It was Cardis.
Quentin, 10
And
minutes.
Quentin Pongia is in the sin bin.
Professional foul. Well done by the referee, Ganson there. No warning, but it's great to see officials who take charge of the game early.
Okay, mate.
He knew it was a professional foul. He wanted to give away the 2 rather than the 6. He's done it all right, but he's put his side under a lot of pressure. He will now be on the sidelines for 10. Wigan down to 12. The power of this man, Nathan Wood. Neat little offload there, and he goes for him. Silly, silly play there by Pongia.
Cardis thought he was in. He's a former Wigan man, of course, and the former New Zealand international Quentin Pongia will reflect for 10 minutes in the sin bin.
And it's a type of forward that Wigan really need out there.
What an opportunity here for Paul Cullen's men to pick up the first points of the night. And the pressure on the 2 coaches, the pressure on the players, the pressure off the terraces to those players. It's tangible here tonight, it really is. And Andy Farrell receiving treatment. He's picked up a knock early. This is bang in front for Graham Appo. First points on the board go Warrington's way.
They'll be pleased with that. Paul Cullen, the coach, obviously be excited at the fashion until they've got there. There's a problem for the Wigan skipper, Andy Farrell.
I think he came out with that strapping on the leg,
No doubt about it.
just reapply.
Remember, we had a problem at St. Helens a few weeks ago.
Well, 2-0 to Warrington, who, remember, escaped relegation by a whisker last year. Now a playoff place for the first time. Paul Cullen called for respectability as they left Wilderspool for their new stadium next year, and he got it. What a challenge ahead of them tonight in the shape of these Wigan Warriors.
Well, we knew they'd come out with all guns blazing. They've certainly done that, but Wigan, they'll be thinking themselves a little bit lucky is the fact that the 2 breaks have gone to players that are not really the fastest in the side. First Westwood and then Nathan Wood. Been a different case if the likes of Graham Appo would have got the football.
That was Paul Noon who played the ball, and this is Westwood.
Oh, he's hurt himself, Cassidy, there. Swung the right arm. Look at the amount of space that Wigan are allowing Warrington to run. They are not working first and second markers at all.
Here comes Nathan Wood again for Warrington. He floats it wide, and it's Gaskell who's prepared to take Carney on. Aspinwall and Cassidy in there with the tackle. Nathan Wood's having a wow already. Chipped there, and it's been picked up by, I think that's a try. I think that's a try for Gleeson.
First of all, and then the grounding. He may have lost
Beautiful kick through from Nathan
Onside
Wood.
and grounding.
We knew it was going to be an important factor for the Warrington
Is
side.
it Gleeson or is it Cardis? Well, there's nothing wrong with the onside, offside.
I think you might find it's Cardis.
It's Cardis.
Yeah. Has he got it down? No.
No, he
He's
hasn't.
lost it. The attention there has been sufficient. It was Adrian Lamb that made the impact, went for the legs, and it was Radlinski that maybe just jolted that ball. This will be classified as a knock-on. He wants to see whether it's been pushed away. Didn't go for it, Radlinski. Been around long enough to know as the Wigan full-back that don't give any indication that he would have dragged that ball out. This will be a no try.
Just how they restart the match is what's concerning the video referee, and it's a 20-metre restart. Well, Darryl Cardis denied, formerly with Wigan. He began his career with this club, and he was so close then.
Well, 3 golden opportunities in many ways.
And of course, Wigan down to 12 men with Pongia on the bench in the sin bin.
Well, nothing silly now from Wigan.
That's Sean O'Loughlin. Quick play the ball.
They'll be quite happy just to keep possession.
Lamb dropped the shoulder. He fooled a few there. He's still going. Gets to halfway before the tackle is completed by Paul Wood. This is Farrell.
Just Drop the shoulder, try to throw the dummy. Not fooling anybody,
And
messing around.
he gets the penalty.
Paul Noon and Fozzard involved. This is just what the doctor ordered for Wigan, as they will take their time, eat up the clock.
On his way to St Helens next year is Nick Fozzard. Sid Domick, by the way, in the centres for Warrington tonight, has announced this week he will leave Paul Cullen and go to Wakefield for 2004. Cassidy will drive it in. Test here of this Warrington defence. Craig Smith. Terry Newton at dummy half. Turns 360 degrees. O'Loughlin finds Lamb. He bounces off a couple. Can't get away from the next one in, who was Paul Noon. Now it's Danny Tickle driving it towards the line. Tickle! 4 it takes to bring him down.
Good work on that short blind side as well. Newton's gone, brought out to the open.
And it's with Lamb. Another interception. And this is Brent Gross. And Brent Gross has got Graham Appo. Oh, forward a mile. Was it? No, they're going to play on. And Gross against Radlinski. Radlinski holds him up.
Got to score. They've got to score.
Here's a chance and Burns is in. Burns is in for the try.
It was forward, but they can't go to the
They
screen for
cannot
it.
go to the video referee for that.
They've got away with that, Eddie. That was a mile forward.
Maybe the touch judges and the referee were a million miles behind the break.
The only thing I can think of that is that the pass may have hit a Wigan hand
Or
as
was
it
the
went
momentum
through.
rule brought into play?
Oh, don't get me on that one. I'm out of breath as it is, just like the try scorer, Darren Burns. What a season he's having. He was one of the many players who was being pushed around. They actually played him in the three quarters. He doesn't like that. And again, Adrian Lamb going for the long pass. That's the second that's created all sort of problems. What's the pass from Graham Happo? He stays in front.
It's the momentum rule.
Oh, don't tell me, Mr. Momentum. Radlinski did absolutely wonderful. They had to score. Burns says, give me the football. He kept moving. Crowd don't like it. But the rule states, if you move in front.
Well, this was the scene inside the dressing room just before the match. Paul Cullen firing his men up for the challenge. They've got the first try, and they now have 8 points on the board. An incredible start for Warrington. And Darren Burns, the try scorer, he played in final series for Brisbane a couple of years ago. He lost a grand final qualifier to the Parramatta Eels. But the Warrington Wolves supporters who have travelled here are having, at the moment, the time of their lives.
It's becoming a nightmare for Adrian Lamb. 2 passes, they got away with it the first time, but not on that occasion.
Well, Bill Arthur told us very early, Steve-O, that there were some rumours of illness in the Wigan cast. Phil Clark's on the side. Phil, if that is the case, that has been kept an absolutely closely guarded secret.
It has, and I don't think they'll be using that as an excuse for the reason why they're 8 points behind. Warrington have been sensational, haven't they? I mean, Wigan have showed some good players when in attack, but Warrington have been good with those interception chances, and really, you do have to credit Darren Burns. The way I saw it, he was the only forward close to that floor of the ball, and therefore he deserved the try. Really, he made the effort to get up there, had the speed to get up there, he deserved his try as he went over the line. He's now also, I think, won a penalty for his side interference. It's been a fantastic opening to this game.
Well, we certainly expected it, Phil. The atmosphere down there must be, well, electric, that's all you can say.
You can't believe the turnaround in the season, can you, from Warrington? This time last year, they've just managed to survive, staying in this league, avoiding relegation. All of a sudden, they're now the challenging Wigan, and Wigan now have a very tough hour in front of them, especially as they're still down to 12 men.
And if there is illness in the camp with 12 men, that will sap the energy as well. Here is Appo. Back on the inside, it goes to Darren Burns. Well, he missed the pass to Gleeson. And here is Gleeson again.
Oh, swinging arm. Terry Newton is losing his cool.
Oh! And Warrington nearly lost their cool then. This is Nathan Wood. Nathan Wood dumps the ball back.
Well, the offloads are superb from Warrington. And pulls away. The two Warrington players down. They're feeling the effect as well.
Another drive in here from the number 18, Paul Noon. On the last tackle, they're 5 metres away.
Surely
they
the
want
kick.
it wide. Gleeson dropped the shoulder.
They should have gone for it.
Craig Smith with an important tackle.
I think they took the wrong option there. I know they'll be able to set up there. Well, that was stupidity. You can't tell me that Gleeson didn't know that was the last tackle.
That's what he's saying.
Not only did they have the opportunity, a la Sean Long last night, who just continually turned London around into their in-goal area. The pressure was on all the time. That's what Warrington should have been doing. He's ready to come back.
He's prowling the touchline. It's been all Warrington early here. They lead 8-0. And this is Newton. And here is Farrell. Needs a captain's knock now. That's a good ball to Radlinski. He gets it away as well. That's a lovely ball to Lamb. Adrian Lamb is through. Until he got to Cardis.
Just ankle tap there. He was always going down. Cardis got to it.
On the inside. Another important tackle in defence. Lamb will take it on. This is the last one. 7 breaks by Warrington. Just the one by Wigan. Kick into the in-goal area. And Cardis will run it over the dead ball line with attention from Radlinski, and they get a vital another set of 6.
That's the way to apply the pressure. He's been involved in everything, hasn't he? Darryl Cardis. And the no try a few moments ago.
Pongier is back. Wigan up to 13. Terry O'Connor comes on to replace Craig Smith, and also I see Gareth Hock is out there as well. Here is Pongier. One angry man, I would think.
There's a couple of the Warrington players, they're not really concentrating on their tackling. They're going a little bit too high. We've seen a couple of occasions where Wigan have gone underneath the swinging arms, made the half break.
That's a good hit by Wainwright. Mike Gregory is agitated, very agitated. Pongier. Midway through this first half, it's with Lamb for Wigan, who look to respond with Farrell. And that's hot, and that's a great tackle by Westwood.
Straight into the face, no chance of offloading.
Lamb on the last tackle will float the kick. Looking for the big man out wide. It's claimed, though, by Gaskell.
Good take.
And Wigan definitely think that Gaskell is a weak link, but he hasn't been so far.
He's been solid as a rock. Good shout as well. You can see him mouthing to his players, it's mine. It's always a great advantage when you know one of your teammates is so confident, saying it's mine, it's mine. Gregory knows the pressure. He's feeling it now, and he knows that the first game that he was in charge, it was a real tough one at Wilderspool.
Phil, what about Wigan's kicking game? We were very critical of London last night.
Yeah, do you know, if you follow Wigan for the last few weeks, you'll realise one of the reasons in the turnaround in the season is because they've improved their accuracy of the kicks and also the quality of the chases behind them. They've still got very good kickers on the field, and I think that if Warrington don't try to put a bit more pressure on Wigan's last play kick option, they will find themselves in trouble, because they've scored as a percentage a greater number of tries from kicks than any other team in Super League this year.
Well, Dallas, his leg was twisted underneath him. He's had problems with the hamstrings this year, but he's all right. This is O'Connor now for Wigan. Newton to Pongier. Pongier just delayed the pass.
Wigan quite happy to do the crisscross at the play of the ball. They've done about 8 or 9 already in this game. There's another one.
And on the bounce, it was picked up again. The momentum continues. This is Sean O'Loughlin.
It's beginning to reap rewards, though. They're running the angles.
Last tackle here for Wigan. It's with Farrell. Now another kick for Gaskell to deal with, yes. And Carney's right behind it. Carney claims it, he's in touch.
There's all at sea there, and I think Gaskell had already made the decision. But the man at the moment, as far as Wigan's concerned, Brian Carney's been in excellent form. took the ball all right, but it was over the whitewash. Tense time.
Talking to Brian Carney when he arrived here this afternoon, he said that he knew he was in for one heck of an evening.
The thing is, Eddie, I think everybody, myself included, expected Warrington to come with the stiff arm stuff. They haven't. They've kept this ball alive. I think it's shocking the Wigan defence a bit.
Well, Paul Cullen indicated last night there might be fireworks, but...
well, I think Wigan expected it, and up till now they've just got through solid tackling.
Darren Burns, that was a good tackle by Farrell. Last one here for Warrington. Gaskell on to Wood, here's the kick. But it's straight at Carney. Inside it goes to Radlinski, but another enthusiastic chase from Warrington. Gaskell with the tackle there, helped out also by Paul Wood. Head to head. Wigan's very much over the past 30 years. And at Wigan, well, Warrington don't have a bad record, perhaps better than most, but in Super League. But look this year, just 3 points between them in 2 matches.
Neat little offload there from Andy Farrell. It had to be one of the rare occasions in this game. 25 minutes into nearly 25 minutes into this match, Eddie, is the fact that there's been very little play. That's the first time they've utilised anything on this left-hand side as Wigan are going towards it. That could have been classified as a little bit of a forward pass. Tried to trick the defence there. But nearly all the pressure, you talk about that Wigan think Gaskell's got a problem. Obviously Warrington feel that Carney is a problem.
Can't get near him yet, mate.
That's the reason why these coaches spend, well, hours and hours just poring over the videotapes.
Warrington's head and feed at the scrum. And here is Cardis again. Radlinski tackles him. Nathan Wood to Michael Wainwright.
You just sense, oh, what has he done? He's got away with it, went backwards. Oh, good work there from Nathan Wood.
Oh, and he's offloading now, and they're offloading again.
What are they doing? They've got away with it once.
Well, here is Wigan on the charge with Farrell. Goes to Lamb.
Well, I was just saying that Warrington's tactics have been absolutely superb, and then they get all excited and try to keep the ball alive. Nathan Wood did everything right to retrieve that football. Wouldn't have impressed him, Paul Cullen.
Pongia flings it wide to Radlinski. Bounces off the challenge. And that's Paul Johnson just on. Plays the ball 5 metres away. This is Newton. Newton's like the kick in for Adrian Lamb. That's a great try. Newton came up with a killer blow there. The kick through and Lamb just gobbled it up. There was space behind it and Paul Cullen's going crackers. There was space behind the Warrington defence, and they really did commit Harry-Carry there. They got away with it once, and then they tried to offload twice and surrender possession to Wigan deep in their own half. And Wigan are not a side to trifle with.
Well, it's usually the combination in reverse here. See, they went for it. Abbo went for the big hit when really they should have gone down for it. They've only themselves to blame. Paul Cullen knows it as well. Great work there from Newton. Definitely onside, Lamb. Look at this. Wood gets it after they really should have had the possession, Wigan. What on earth is he trying to do? And then the try again. Oh, that is absolutely suicidal. Gareth Hope came up with the possession, and the combination of the hooker and the little scrum half has put Wigan back into this match when really they were struggling.
Lamb's try, that's got the Wigan crowd on their feet now, and Farrell here to try and add the extras and reduce the deficit to just 2 points. And Farrell doesn't miss those. It's Wigan 6, Warrington 8. What a battle royal between the two scrum halves, Steve-O. Adrian Lamb with the try, and on the other side, Nathan Wood. They both played together at the Sydney Roosters, and Wood was the understudy to Lamb. He has got a big point to prove tonight, he believes. And these two, of course, Paul Cullen and Mike Gregory, teammates at Warrington, once upon a time. Great friends off the field.
No friends on it. You can't afford it. But why on earth Nathan Wood, after getting away with what appeared to be a snatch, then tries to offload? It's okay when you're in the opposition's half, when you're applying themselves to it, but you don't do it under your own sticks. That has turned into a gift for Wigan.
This is Pongier again.
And watch how it'll lift the cherry and whites.
Yes, just the fillip they needed. That's great ball from Gareth Hock to Hodgson.
Good work from Hock. He was always looking to offload there.
Here's Farrell. He's up to gear in the last 5 minutes.
Well, that's the quickest session to play the ball that Wigan have had so far in this first half.
Newton to Radlinski. Infield it goes to O'Loughlin. One for Carney to chase, and Carney is quick. Well played by the defender, Gaskell again.
Having plenty of work to do, hasn't he, Gaskell?
Great run here from Cardis.
Good work from the winger yet again. He knows he's going to get plenty of work here.
This is Domick. And that is another good drive from the forward, Paul Wood. Appo kicked towards the touchline, and Dallas not interested in dealing with that. It was bobbling and bouncing all over the show.
Good tactics as well, especially after you just conceded a try. To try to just hold the momentum against you, and the best possible manner is to make sure that you form the scrum.
Well, no matter what happens tonight, Warrington have had 29 minutes of memories here. Lamb feeds the scrum for Wigan. He gets the ball away to David Hodgson, who bounces off two would-be tacklers then. Fortunately, from the Warrington point of view, loses his footing. Pongier to Farrell. Good quick hands by Wigan here. And that is Sean O'Loughlin. Johnson. 3 tackles gone. Wigan, they've certainly upped the tempo since they got over for that try. Here's O'Connor. Newton waits at dummy half. Lamb. Little drop of the shoulder from Lamb, but he was meat in a Warrington sandwich then. And
this will be interesting. Will they take the kick? I think they will.
And another one for Gaskell to deal with, but that's a bit deep, and Gaskell under no pressure this time. O'Loughlin's kick was just about 5 or 6 metres too close to the Warrington defender.
Well, surely Mike Gregory has got to start getting the message down and say, look, it's been a waste of time. We've put the pressure on this Dean Gaskell. He hasn't wilted. Let's change the tactics a bit. Why don't we try the other wing?
Bit of a slap there from Johnson on Gaskell, and the referee has spotted it. Paul Johnson penalised.
Well, it was high by Johnson, the substitute, but to be fair to the player, since he came on, Wigan also have lifted.
5 Wigan players in the Dream Team for 2003, Carney, Lamb, Craig Smith, Newton and Farrell, and Graham Appo, who just passed the ball there, the first Warrington man since Paul Sculthorpe 7 years ago to catch the eye of the judges. It's a mythical team, but 5 Wiganers in it, and strangely no St Helens player this year. Here is Wood. That's a good ball.
Ooh, that looked high as well.
That was Domick who took it.
O'Loughlin that gave it as well.
Charge in there by Paul Noon. Warren Stevens, I beg your pardon. There are so many of this Warrington side that look so similar. Can't mistake Appo though.
Going underneath. Not the best attempt there.
Gleeson, this is Nat Wood. Chip over the top for Ben Westwood. Just couldn't get to it. Knock on. He touched down all right, but he knocked the ball forward.
Again, the architect, Nathan Wood. Went very close to it, didn't he? Red Dallas didn't look confident on that occasion. Just caught himself a little bit too far into the field of play. Good work from Carney.
Yes, great run.
It takes the pressure off. What a pace this game has been played at.
Dallas to his feet.
Both sides want to get on with it.
Farrell, that's a good run. It's a great ball from Newton. He's clawed to the ground by Paul Noon. Here goes Newton again. Misses a cover that goes behind them. We're going to lose the momentum. Radlinski picks it up again. Escapes the clutches of Stevens. Can't get away from Appo. Tigerish in the tackle, little Graham Appo. Dallas waits.
Well, Radlinski was running across the base. Really he wanted someone there to help him.
The kick from Lamb is going to skip too deep.
Too strong.
Clarkey, what a rip-roaring battle this is.
Fantastic, isn't it? Warrington just looking to hang on here now. I think one or two of their forwards tiring a bit as Wigan up the pace, but do you know, I've heard people on the way to the game here today saying, oh, Warrington, they'll just come and try and rough Wigan up a bit, and I think it's been quite the contrary to that. The ball movement from both the left and right hand side of the field has been superb, and really they've been a very adventurous and quality side to watch play when in attack. They've moved the ball around, every player seems to know what his role is. They run for one another off the ball, they offer themselves as supporting players. They are a very good team to watch. Just don't know whether they'll quite have the class here now, but fantastic game. We're going to punch some holes into the middle of them, but they seem to hang on.
Yes, they're hanging on so far. As the Frenchman Jérôme Guisset.
One advantage that Warrington have is that their short passing game, quite close to the ruck area, use quite a few breaks. Ooh, no second phase there. Wainwright wanted to offload.
It's Wood from dummy half. He dabs the ball towards Dallas. Dallas accepts the gift. Wood following up. Dallas is quick though. Dallas is very quick.
Great work from Dallas. Unbelievable. Took it on the angle. They knew that they had to desperately lunge at him.
Good cover tackle from Nathan Wood as well. This is Aspinwall.
Very slow to get back into the defensive line, Warrington at the moment.
Here comes Carney.
They're looking a little bit bedraggled. Struggling.
And Andrew Farrell leaves the field. That's a blow for Wigan. Here comes Pongia. Bill, what's the story?
They gave him as long as they could. That left knee, though, is a problem from Andrew Farrell, and I think that it's just going to be until the second half. See whether they can fix him up during half-time. That's at least what they're hoping, but he's a very, very unhappy captain at the moment.
Well, you could see that, Eddie. He threw the
Forward
tracksuit.
pass. He'll be even more unhappy.
He threw the tracksuit that was offered to him, just threw it onto the ground. Such a great competitor. He committed himself at Appo. It's a little tap on the head.
It was a forward pass just before this. There.
Yep. But even there, you could have perhaps brought into play the momentum. Was in front yet again.
Gross. And this now is Darren Burns, the scorer of the Warrington try.
I'm sure that Paul Cullen would have got the message out to his side. Look, let's just keep it simple and basic right up to half-time. He wants to be able to talk to them, keep them under the composure.
Hugely confident last night, Paul Cullen.
He certainly was. And apart from that stupid error, that silly play when they tried to keep the ball alive when they didn't need to, Wigan would have been pointless.
Great ball to Domick, and Domick is tackled by Radlinski.
He's taken him out. Now then, could this be a penalty try?
No, it won't be a penalty try, but it's someone else in the bin. Someone else is in the bin.
Well, Domick took it, and then as soon as he passed it, I think it was Wood that was coming back on the inside, and I think it's
Johnson.
I think it's Wood that's taken out. Well, I think he's going to kick for the corner. As soon as he passes it, and he's held back, I think it's Gleeson, I think.
Well, Johnson's the man who's in the bin, so Wigan down to 12 again. Here goes Warren Stevens.
Good tactic as well, apply the pressure, don't take the two.
It was Cardis who was held back, and that is Mark Gleeson. And that's Guisset. And there's Cardis, and this is Appo, and back it goes to Burns.
Ooh, that was right across the chest, he felt that.
There's Appo. They're coming down this side. Appo again, involved in everything. Gleeson. Oh, it's off the knees. Oh, they might get away with this. It's Wainwright. Oh,
He said he shot the knees.
It's a knock on.
Well, he's made an error there. Wainwright says that went behind.
And that went off the knees.
And that should have been play on. That's backwards, no doubt about it. Well, they're very fortunate. Wood gets the pass on the inside. I think it's Burns that is held back. Yes, it is. Great
Yes,
tackle.
it is, Steve.
God,
There are so many that look alike out there. And I must say the numbers of either of these two clubs not clever.
Not brilliant. Especially the Warrington ones. Another one in the sin bin.
They've had 20 minutes then playing with 12 men. Here's Hodgson. Great tackle, Cardis.
Had to be as well. Wonderful balance there.
Dallas.
David Hodgson showed supreme quality.
Oh, he's dropped it. Play on. It's Dallas again. And Dallas away from Gaskell. And in the end, brought to ground. He wipes the tackle count down. Wigan with Lamb. And here they come with Aspinwall.
Desperation defence, it has to be. They've got to get the link. They've numbers out wide. You can see that Warrington playing a very short sliding defence. They're taking the gamble.
It's arrived at the arms of Hodgson, who almost goes without his shorts on. Tackle is completed. Here goes Danny Tickle. And Tickle wrapped up by this Warrington defence. Can they hang on to half-time with the lead? Lamb. And Lamb. Oh, it's charged down. It's Nathan Ward. It's Nathan Ward on a charge down. Radlinski's quick. He's not going to catch it. Nathan Ward with a try. Nathan Ward for Warrington. He had 15-20 metres on the Wigan defence. And although Radlinski's one of the quickest in the business, he couldn't get near him. And Warrington will hang on at half-time.
Not only hang on, Eddie, but going there to the dressing rooms full of confidence. That is the third clear intercept that Wigan have given. Was the kick from the same man, Adrian Lamb, whether it's a pass or the kick into the arms, it still counts as an interception. It was going into the corner and he said, thank you very much indeed. Sometimes you need the rub of the green. He kept calm and cool. He wasn't worried about trying to go underneath the sticks. He wanted to make sure that he was going to get the four, that they were going to go in a superior position. The lemons and oranges will taste very sweet indeed.
Look at this mob.
Incredible.
A first half that they could not have dared hope would happen. But Nathan Wood, a former understudy to Adrian Lamb, a major reason behind Warrington's success this year. And Wigan have not lost under Mike Gregory. His former club has come here tonight and in the first half at least is haunting him.
And let's not forget that Wigan are without their captain courageous, Andy Farrell. We knew he would be an important factor, Nathan Wood, as his half-back partner Graham Apple, but it has been the Nathan Wood show. And sadly for Wigan, it's Adrian Lamb that have provided the three intercepts. Westwood got the first, they got back, prevented the try. And then it was Gross that made it where Burns made the try, and now Wood.
Apple with the kick. Oh, hits the post and goes the other way. Half-time arrives though, with the shock on the cards. Warrington ahead 12-6. Nathan Wood's try right on the bell, and their supporters from Wilderspool are giving them a standing ovation. And Paul Cullen, probably the coolest cucumber from Warrington that we've seen for a long time. But their hearts are racing. Wigan with problems, two men in the sin bin, Farrell injured, a rumour of illness in the camp, and Warrington with their coach Paul Cullen on the side waiting to greet them, and they have produced one of the most amazing first half of this fantastic Super League season we've seen. Wigan 6, Warrington 12. Come back and repeat itself. Nathan Wood's try right on the stroke of half-time has given Warrington such encouragement. Wigan are still down to 12 men. They still have Paul Johnson in the sin bin, and he will be in the sin bin for around about 5 minutes of this first half, second half. So it's Wigan who are in possession, first use of the ball in this second period. When will Mike Gregory pitch the likes of young Luke Robinson on, Steve-O?
I think what he has to do is try to get a bit of supremacy in the forwards. We saw little of that in the first half. Likes of O'Connor, Craig Smith, they really have got to make sure that they make inroads. Then they can get the back line going.
This is Newton. And the pass was up around the neck of Gareth Hock. That's the last tackle. Lamb will kick. Carney wants it down this wing. He's gone the other way. That's straight down the throat of Ben Westwood.
And obviously Mike Gregory has come up with a ploy that said, OK, we peppered Dean Gaskell on the left wing. Let's change the tactics, give the hard work now to Ben Westwood. And I don't think he needs anybody to tell him that he's going to get plenty of that in this second half. But that's been a huge problem for Wigan, is the amount of metres forward Warrington have got from the dummy half position. It's as though Wigan are a little bit tentative in defence. Move up, that's what's needed.
Wood is inside the 40-metre mark. He might have the 40-20 here. He might have a 40-20 here. The touch judge says no, he must take a look. Well, he doesn't have to take a look.
Well, I can't believe that he has not gone for the screen on this.
He's well inside.
No problem about that. But when it goes over the line, it is a problem. They cannot look at it from the angle.
The touch judge was so far behind that, though. The referee cannot go, to be fair to the video referee.
I realise that.
To see where it crosses the line.
Because it's like a forward pass, you can't get the right angle.
But that looked as though it might have actually crept over 20.
I'm with you.
But only just.
Makes a change.
Craig Smith.
Good old-fashioned effort. That's what's needed by the Wigan pack.
Let's get downstairs to Bill for the half-time news.
I hate to say it, but Steve-O's hit nail on the head as far as Wigan are concerned. That's exactly what Mike Gregory's looking for, and a little bit of composure and some patience, because of course there's only these 6 points in it. Wigan don't need to panic. And the bad news though for the Warriors, that's a great chase by them. The bad news is that they're going to be without Andrew Farrell by the look of things, because he's still on the sidelines, and that left knee is heavily strapped. It's a recurrence of the problem he had a few weeks ago. So Farrell sits out the start of this second half, certainly. As for Warrington Wolves coach Paul Cullen, as you'd expect, delighted with that first 40 minutes. More of the same pleas from his boys. And the message there to them is they don't need to force it. They just need to maintain their composure, because the one time they forced it in that first half, Wigan snaffled up the loose ball and went on to score. So he just wants them to really concentrate.
This is Craig Smith here for Wigan. Warrington having to drop out from underneath their own sticks, because young Gaskell was forced back over the line. There is Andrew Farrell, and the Wigan captain is prowling. He's an angry Wigan Warrior at the moment. This is Pongia. Tackle standing up.
He'll try to get the body language with standing on the touchline, try to just lift his side.
And he might do here. That's a good little run.
He's played well as Gareth Hock.
Newton, off the chest.
Oh, that was a gift try. That was one gift try. Apo came out, took an enormous gamble here. Oh, he was nowhere near the football. Now then, did he touch it? That could have been a knock-on first. That should have been, would you believe?
He's given the knock-on against Fozzard now.
Well, the balance of power has been rectified. He says he wasn't when he lost the ball, did Newton touch it? But this, look here, gets a fingertip to it. That's got to be classified as a knock-on. Does not have to hit the ground, of course, and when it hit David Hodgson straight away.
Wigan back to 13. Good hands. Lamb here. This is the man most likely to for Wigan. Redgrose with the tackle. Tickle now.
What obviously the tactics now is that Wigan will start hitting the short blind side, try to drag the Warrington defence into one section of the field, then get the link working. We haven't seen much from Adrian Lamb and Sean O'Loughlin yet.
Here is Lamb. That kick. Oh, it's bounced kindly for them. And it's back to 0 in the tackle count. Now there's contentious. Did that play the ball or did the man play it? Did the ball play the man or did the man play the ball? It's something we'll examine no doubt later as we watch as this latest Wigan attack builds. And this is Hock. And here is Johnson just back out of the sin bin. Couldn't get away from tigerish defence by Domick and Fozzard.
Did well there, Domick.
O'Loughlin, Craig Smith, Radlinski, Craig Smith again.
Wigan's attack far too tight. They've got to get a little bit. Oh, what an effort!
Great effort from Craig Smith. This is Danny. It's a try.
Yeah.
It's a try for
Danny
Tickle. The referee, Steve Ganson, wants to have a look at it though via the video referee.
Well, silly play in the first half allowed Wigan to get back into this game. And silly play yet again. I don't think there's any problem with this. Tickle's got that
Oh,
now.
it's on his foot.
It's
Now
now
it's down.
Yeah, don't worry. Any part of the ball is sufficient. That's a good effort. Plenty of strength. Westwood tried everything within his power, but once it rolled off the boots, it was going to be TRY all the time. But they've got to look back to the silly point where they lost the football when trying to play the ball. There's confirmation.
Tickle's try. Wigan with hope, but the kick through. Now, did it actually play the man, or did the man play the ball? We asked the question.
Well, I think
here's the answer.
I think Ganson has made a mistake here. Now, there's no way in the world that they've gone for that.
That's never 6 to go.
No. That is one heck of a big boo-boo, and it has allowed Wigan the lifeline. Good work there by Tickle. But controversy reigns. Not surprisingly, the Warrington fans are booing. Twisted well, did Tickle.
Well, controversy here.
Well, I'm with you, Eddie. How on earth has the official come up with it? And he came up with it so quickly. I mean, it was so quick. It wasn't so he wanted to. I want to have a look at it.
Tickle then is kicking the goals here because Andrew Farrell's, as we know, is off on the side. This to level the scores for Wigan. It's a vital kick for young Danny Tickle. 38 goals this year. This the most important. 39 for Danny Tickle and the scores are level. 12 apiece. But should the try have been allowed?
No. There's Lamb. He just turned his back. The ball, well, that is not fair if you want to look at it that way. Brent Gross. Gross, look at Gross down here. Look at the referee. He wasn't even looking at that. And then he says, play on. Oh, I cannot believe that. Steve Ganson has been controversial throughout this entire season. And he has not let us down yet again. The face on Paul Cullen must be absolutely, well, he'll be mad.
This is Carney for Wigan, surrounded by 3.
Set.
Newton, Craig Smith, starting to dominate the forward pack now, Craig Smith. Newton just pushes Darren Burns out of the way, here come Wigan. That was a terrific tackle from Westwood. Ball and all on Tickle. The kick through, and Cardis watches it carefully, knocks that back. Cardis has got pace. That's a great tackle though by Aspinwall, and also there was Radlinski. Knock on!
Oh, bad mistake. The fullback did ever so well under pressure right underneath his own sticks.
The tide could be turning against Warrington.
No one in front of him. No one just messing around in the play of the ball. Also, the one thing I've noticed in the second half, Mike Gregory obviously told them, remember I was making the point that they were struggling in the first and second marker defensive. Now they're not getting anybody in front, they're coming back so that they've got plenty of time to see which way the ball is going to be moved. Well done from Wood.
Pinched by Wood. Incredible, this is Westwood now.
What a tackle this is. He takes the ball, he's still moving. Well, you said the tide was turning. Huh,
Well,
which
King
way?
Canute has just appeared. Here's Fozar. Oh, reckless pass. Nathan Wood. Wainwright offloads. Here's Cardis again, and Cardis breaks through. He has support wide from Gaskell.
Did well.
Get it away.
He did well, Andy. He didn't panic. A lot of players with less experience would have panicked, tried to offload there. They're in a commanding position.
It's Apo. Back on the inside it goes. It's Darren Burns. He's just held back by Johnson. What an important grab at the collar that was. Gleeson wide to Apo. Apo flicks the pass again.
Keep your eye on Nathan Wood. Where is he? He'll be watching the football to control things. He's way out wide.
Apo again. This is Nathan Wood. Wide it goes through the hands, somehow kept in play by Gaskell.
He was offside then. Kicked onto his own player. Accidental offside with a kick. That should have been a penalty to Wigan. Did well, did Gaskell. Kicked through to his own player.
Well, 12 all, 10, 11 minutes into the second half. If it stays level by the end of 80 minutes, it's 10 minutes each way, extra time, and then the drama of a golden point. Can our nerves stand it, Clarkie?
Oh, I think there's a few tries before we get to the end of this game, you know. It really has gone end to end with Craig Smith breaking through some tackles. This will take a lot of energy to both sides. Got to the fifth tackle. The biggest difference, I think, for Wigan in the second half has been the quality of the kicks. We've seen some that Lamb have put in, really. That's probably not one of the better ones. And first one forced Gaskell in goal. The second one, there was a handling error from Cardis. But Warrington seemed to have withstood that first 10-minute onslaught that Wigan would inevitably start with. And got themselves back into the game, back up with their confidence. You know, they realised in this game, the remainder of it, there'll be times when they're in control and times when Wigan have control. You've got to be able to tangle both of them.
It's a titanic struggle. It's everything that we expect from the playoffs in the Tetley Super League and a little bit more. Gleeson waits. Remember, no Hilton, no Clark, and no Lee Breers for Warrington. Wigan virtually at full strength, but now no Farrell. No Farrell, although he played at the start. Oh, and they're being a bit fancy. Now then.
That's play on.
No, it's not. The turnover.
Gaskell saying that as they go for it.
There's Lee Breers alongside his coach. How they would have loved to have him out there.
Sad part about it is that
The drop goal king, of course, Lee Breers.
it will be, but I mean, it's just, it'll be extremely sad if it has to come about that they do go for that, with such a controversial try being given.
Ponga, I think we've got a few more twists and turns in the plot yet, Steve.
Oh, without a doubt.
Here's Lamb. Robinson is out. Off the bench. Ponga.
Well, he certainly will add a lot of speed. You know the qualities of Luke Robinson.
There he is, from dummy half. Good ball. Johnson gets the pass inside. It was Hock.
Do you know,
It was Radlinski who got the pass.
Gareth Hock is having a blinder out there.
A dab over the top, more work for Gaskell to do. The young man has coped so far. Ooh.
Oh, that was a bad one. That was very lucky that the winger went right over. Watch him being picked right over there. Now, we had two put on report last night, and they were exactly the same as that. It is warming up. We knew that Wigan forwards had to start getting tough, both physical and mentally.
It's Gleeson again. Good ball to Ian Sibbett. Tackled by Paul Johnson. Back it goes to Graham Apo. It's on the last. Big hoof downfield from Apo. Here is Carney, still on the field. Picks it up underneath his own sticks. Great kick.
Wonderful stuff, and the chase is good. Leading it yet again. Man of the moment for me, Nathan Wood.
And look at the possession that Wigan have had in the opposition half. How on earth are Warrington keeping them out? But they are. 12 apiece, though. Here's Pongia. Good ball. Lachlan.
Oh, he lost that.
Not
Did he
only that,
move?
he put the ball down on the ground and didn't regain his feet.
Yep.
That seems to be something else that's been brushed under the carpet by the referees at the back end of this season. O'Connor, over halfway, breaks a level. The match is level. This is the last tackle. Lamb with the kick.
Okay.
It's a good one. Split the fullback and the winger. It'll bobble all over the place.
Cardis has got work to do, and he does it.
Great stuff. For the attention there, the substitute Luke Robinson. Oh, that's a dodgy pass, but they had to do it. Swarming defence. Big game from this fella, Daniel Cardis.
Well, he was stirring relegation with Halifax, full in the face not long ago, and now here he is in the heat of the playoffs.
Wigan player down. Oh, what are they doing?
It went backwards. That went backwards off Domic. It's play on.
And there's a Wigan player flat out on the far side of the field. Warrington players have gone to him. There's the trainer there.
Danny Tickle.
Tickle was just completely flat out.
And that's Nathan Wood with the kick downfield. It's collected by Radlinski on the fly. And he will try and get round a couple. He gets the pass away. This is David Hodgson.
Is it too early to start thinking about the 1 point? I don't think so.
Dallas
Get the supremacy.
over 14,000 here, and about half of them from Warrington. O'Connor.
They're in a good position. Will they go early?
Robinson. Lamb. No, they're looking for 4 with O'Loughlin. Good tackle by Gaskell. It was on Aspinwall. Lamb. Robinson. Teasing them, stabbing the ball to the in-goal area. And Cardis taking no chances this time.
Good work though from Robinson. Cardis knew it as well. It was well weighted. There was no in the world that was going to go over the dead in goal line.
Luke Robinson drafted into the England A squad this week, but Daryl Cardis, the former Wigan fullback for Warrington, having a terrific night. Don't forget, they're playing for the right to face St Helens, either here at Wigan or at Knowsley Road if it's Warrington next Friday, and then top against second in the match that will take one of either Bradford or Leeds to the grand final next Saturday at 6, Sky Sports 1. That's at Odsall.
We're approaching the final quarter, and the speed of this game, it certainly must take its toll.
Well, it's unrelenting at the moment.
That's why I think that the 1 point could be such a psychological advantage.
We're going to try to spread the ball wide and run Warrington off their feet. Here is Dallas, a man who can do that. Oh, what a great jinking run from Dallas. He finds Robinson. It opens up for Robinson. Oh, and he's clattered to the floor by Wood. It's a high tackle.
Certainly was. Went slap straight into him. There was no emotion, Paul Cullen. But this surely will be a gift, 2 points. Went in lazy. Robinson was stepping off the left foot.
But it looked at speed worse than it was.
Oh, of course. The lazy lunge by Nathan Wood.
And needless to say,
they'll go the 2.
Yes, they'll go the 2 and try and wrest the lead from Warrington for the first time tonight.
Even so,
and that could be a huge psychological lift for Wigan.
That's why I was talking about the 1 point. In as much that take your time, it gives the opposition a lot to think about.
Well, he's had a wow of a game, Nathan Wood, and
sensation.
One little
error
from him, yes. Thank you, I was searching for the word. And
mistake.
Luke Robinson, he's taking the kick himself. He was the man who was felled. There he is, the crowd from Wigan behind those sticks. And Robinson adds 2 points to the Wigan total. They lead for the first time. It's 14-12.
How's that for confidence? It's the reason why the coach said this kid can handle it.
You made the point, didn't you, on Wednesday, at Boots and All, could the Wigan youngsters handle the pressure of this situation?
They found it difficult in the first half. We saw little from Sean O'Loughlin. But this Luke Robinson, a little fella, but he's a dynamo. He just keeps going.
Well, Wigan have lost their 2 first-choice goal kickers. That's why Robinson took that kick. And I think Bill's got news now of the second, and that's Danny Tickle.
That's right, Eddie. Danny Tickle on the sidelines at the moment being examined by the Wigan doctor. He got a smack on the jaw and was just dazed briefly. And fair play to Warrington's Ben Westwood, who in heat of this battle, had time to think about a fellow athlete, and he put Danny Tickle just in the recovery position, just to be on the safe side. Thankfully, wasn't anything as serious as that, but Tickle is on the sidelines.
It's being played in wonderful spirit, this. It's a rip-roarer of a match. But the players know that the prize is a massive one. The grand final at Old Trafford on October the 18th. 01132329111 for any information you might need about the biggest night of the Rugby League year, the biggest occasion of the Rugby League year.
And if either of these sides want to appear at Old Trafford, Eddie, it's the one that is going to keep their composure. We've just seen Wigan there try to keep the ball alive when they don't need it. They've taken the lead for the very first time. It's grind away time. It's not about fancy football. It's about controlling your position out there on the field of play.
It's all Wigan in terms of possession, but they only lead by 2 points. Oh, Napo! What an important tackle from Cassidy!
Well, he held on to him for an eternity.
Sibbett gets the ball away, and Hodgson with an important tackle on Brent Gross. It's Appo again, and here comes Gleeson, and he gives it width and finds Nathan Wood, and Nathan Wood with a little dummy and another little dummy. Oh, and he's lost the ball.
He was in a position to offload.
Aspinwall accepts the gift. Robinson now for Wigan.
So much excitement out there. It's difficult for the players to hear the shouts, hear the call from their fellow players. But I'm sure that Mike Gregory, now he's got a 2-point lead, will make sure that he has told Wigan, just grind it out. Surely, Clarkie, that's what you would be doing.
I don't know, I think Wigan want to press ahead, don't they? They'll still go on. They're going to bring Terry Newton back on, I think, in the next few seconds. And therefore, then they're starting to look dangerous. Unfortunately for Warrington, they've just had to play with Gleeson, the hooker, for the entire match, where normally they'd rotate in with John Clark. It's such a demanding position. You want somebody to come on and provide a spark and put an impact into that play the ball area. Really, the second half has been controlled by the Wigan side. Played the majority of the second half inside the Warrington danger zone, really, and it's been very, very tough work for the guys, picking it up and taking it out of trouble. If anything, they could do with winning a couple of goal line dropouts to spend some time attacking the Wigan line. It's been something they haven't done for a rather long time.
Well, whoever loses this, it will be an absolute heartbreaker. It really will. Darren Burns standing tall. Paul Cullen not ready to throw the towel in yet. Neither is Mike Gregory. Just a bit further along in the main stand here. Great strength.
You can tell they're tense.
Wood on the last tackle. Oh, he's caught in possession now. Well, he's had a magnificent match, Wood, but a couple of times he's just been found wanting. O'Connell.
Far too elaborate there. They've should have gone for the kicking chase, which has been so successful for them throughout this game so far.
Lamb now has come to the side for Wigan. He has been replaced. The big guns are coming off for Wigan, and it's left to the youngsters. This is O'Loughlin, one of them. Newton's back on, though. He is Cassidy, one of the old war horses. He gets them over the 20-metre line. It's a great run. Oh, he's lost it.
Knock on.
Got to be a knock on. The touch judge eventually says. Cassidy says it went back.
Just trying to offload it.
And it went forward.
There's an arm in there, but getting back to that rule that is going for the tackle.
Wainwright.
And it goes for the arm.
For the arm,
yeah. Good stuff from Wainwright. I must say the touch judge on this side certainly didn't help the man in the middle on that occasion. Ganson couldn't see it. No idea.
Here's Curtis again.
We haven't seen much from Graham Appo in regards to individual brilliance, and this is the time when they certainly need something different. You can't just grind your way into this Wigan half. They've got to do something. Maybe the little chip over the top.
Wigan with just 2 substitutions left, and they have a 15-minute barrier that lies ahead of them, and who knows, maybe extra time.
Go around the top, mate.
Burns to Appo, left-footed over the top of Radlinski. Now, how enthusiastic is the chase? Because this is going to stand in the in-goal area, and Appo is leading the race. Appo gets there, puts them all on side. Gross with the tackle. They're being roared on on by their supporters, Warrington. Dallas.
Brilliant play there. All the wingers out there tonight, they've had to work overtime.
This has been a credit to the Tetley Super League this year. It is a mirror image, really, of what we've seen for 28 weekly rounds. It's been the best season of all time, and this is one of the most intriguing matches. And that's a great pass from Robinson, and this is O'Loughlin. And O'Loughlin is cut down. Good flying tackle by the Warrington defender. Here now is Newton. He's gone past Ray. He's got Aspinwall in support. And Aspinwall will give it to Robinson again. And Robinson chinking them, teasing them, stepping out of the challenges. Lovely ball out the back door. Newton. Here is O'Connor. O'Connor to drive it in. Looking to offload again. O'Connor and does. Back to Newton. Cassidy's in the way. Burns eventually gets to him. Last tackle.
1 point, surely.
Cassidy gets it away. They have men out wide. One of them is Radlinski. Radlinski for Wigan. Great ball. What a try. What a try from Dallas. What a try from Dallas. But what a pass from Chris Radlinski. Oh, that was worth the entrance money alone. What a magnificent Wigan try. Radlinski and Dallas with the coup de grace.
Well, it came from a bad pass, but you could see that Warrington's defence was caught out. They had the numbers. They kept it. They were looking for it. It was a quick play. Good tackle on Sean O'Loughlin. There had to be. But they tested their arm. Newton tried it again, back on the inside. Then Robinson, he said, give me it. Turns around, get out of the way. Step in. Offload. That's the 6th offload they've done. That's number 7. Watch for number 8. Here it comes.
Okay, Paul.
They're going nowhere, they think. Look at Warrington. They just stood there. This is the first play, the ball onto it. They thought they've got Cassidy. Took the gamble. Quick hands. It was an awful pass, but there was no one at home. As soon as Radlinski. Oh, that is absolute fantastic rugby league football. Back on the inside. Could you see the man Dallas shout? He was shouting to Radlinski, I've gone inside. The message was superb. The connection was even better. And the 4 points. Oh.
Well, he's having his best sequence of the season. This is the 9th game he's played in a row. He will be 29 years of age on the day of the grand final. What a present that would be for him. And what a gift he has just given to Mike Gregory and his team. Emotionless, but his heart must be beating inside. The pass from Radlinski, though, wonderful. Paul Cullen knows that if this sails over from Danny Tickle, his men have to score twice. Tickle. A vital conversion. It's not easy. And he has missed it. It's 6 points. 1 score.
Well, it's been a heavy night for the wingers, as I mentioned earlier. The emotion etched on the face there.
Well, they'll sleep tonight.
Certainly will.
Everybody who is here tonight will sleep. Wow.
That is Ben Westwood. He's come out. They can see 3 Wigan players. It wasn't the best pass. It was an awful pass. But look at the step and the pass. World class.
Now Warrington have to rescue something in the last 12 minutes. But Wigan, ooh, that was high. That was a high shot. And it's Paul Wood.
It's a bit clumsy, mate. Don't go on the top, okay? You know what, mate?
Well, he's given him benefit of the doubt. He said it was clumsy. It's still the penalty to Wigan.
Don't give yardage away.
Wigan waited. Their composure was good once they made that break.
Low penalty count in this match, a match of such importance.
There hasn't been much dirty play. Which,
no, and Steve Ganson hasn't been keen to blow the whistle, to be fair to him.
Kept it going, kept it flowing. Sadly, it's a controversial incident where he allowed Wigan an extra 6 when it was quite clear that was not the case, when the ball actually played Gross rather than Gross playing the ball. But
Here
Wigan
is
now,
Johnson though now for Wigan, who just oh, this is good defence. Oh, that's terrific defence.
they're not done
What
yet.
great work from Warrington. They are not done.
He's had a classic game, you know. I know he's come up with a couple of errors, but Nathan Wood, he's run his blood to water, not just with the football, but he's leading this defensive effort.
And Warrington with Clark, Hilton, Breers, Penny and Rob Smythe all out. But Wigan have got their casualties as well tonight. Farrell and Lamb, two of their biggest guns aren't there, but the young guns are. And I notice young Gary Holtz is coming on now for Warrington. He is taking the place of Mark Gleeson. So there's a change. But Bill, you've news of Adrian Lamb.
Just as you mentioned his name, Eddie, the word from the Wigan bench that Adrian Lamb's suffering the after effects of the virus I mentioned at the start of the match that has hit the Wigan camp, and Craig Smith, who's also off, has been struggling as well. They're just struggling for a bit of breath, and what is a breathless contest.
It is, and there's 10 breathless minutes remaining. Here's the man who conceded the penalty. Wood, and it's a good run. Oh, it's got Gary Holtz! Holtz is just on. What a tackle from Radlinski.
Well done, Radlinski. He didn't follow through with the tackle. He could have been penalised there. He dropped him at the very last moment.
Abbo attacking the Wigan line again. Flicking it back, taking the chance.
Why? Why take the chance? They still have a couple play the balls. Well, they'll look at this game if Wigan do get away with it. Just complete panic. Why?
Must have been on the last, that Steve-O. We saw the turnover.
Sorry.
It must be.
Well, even I've lost the plot on that. So exciting.
This is Carney. Clarkey, 9 minutes to go. Hexed somebody. Who's going to win it?
Oh, I think we're going to win it, Andy. But one player I've waited for in this entire game just to do something, because he's been outstanding for them this year, is Brent Gross in the right centre position for Warrington. They went that way, couldn't find him. Time and time again, if they can get into attacking option, he's a player who could score the try for Warrington and will give them a lifeline.
Could the players survive the extra time, though, Clarkey? The fitness levels have been tested from the start of this season, and they're being tested tonight with a vengeance.
This full-back also has plenty to do, hasn't he, Daryl Cardis? But that sheer piece of brilliance from the opposite full-back, Chris Radlinski. It was breathtaking, Eddie. The step and then the inside pass, one-handed. As you say, it was worth the entrance money alone.
What a battle. This is all knock-on against Darren Burns. The error forced by sheer weight of numbers.
They're getting tired, and that's when the errors start coming. It was a big hit.
What a hit, though. I don't think either of these two sides, and there's a hands in between the legs there as well.
Now the Newton could have been penalised there. Pretty hard though, Eddie, and well, the pace of this game, everything, it's had everything, hasn't it?
Radlinski, I thought it was going to have a Radlinski special then as well.
Well, surely just for the sticks, nothing stupid. Cassidy knows what he's to do.
Great offload, Johnson.
Go for the 1 point. What on earth are they trying to do?
It's Terry Newton.
Just drive to the sticks. Surely Robinson's got the quality to put one over.
This is Hodgson. Well, they're underneath the sticks. It's back to Robinson. Drop goal attempt. He's got it. Warrington has to score twice. And Robinson could have just kicked Wigan to a home meeting with St Helens here next week.
Great stuff. I knew he had the quality, and when he took that conversion as well for the try, he also had the confidence. Yes. We often spoke about it throughout this season, Eddie, is the fact that the depth within a team is so important. They did not come to the forefront in the first 40 minutes to the youngsters out there, but they certainly have done that.
Short kick off by Warrington. Aspinwall pouches it.
Rolls the time, hold.
This is Carney.
Second. Good.
This is Robinson.
Third, Darren.
Newton to O'Connor. Hard and straight from the prop forward. Good run.
Goal.
Newton to Pongia. Pongia offloads.
Knock on.
Play on. Warrington have it in the shape of Wainwright.
Big problem for Warrington in the second half is they've had very poor field position. That was a high shot, a lazy one.
And a Longridge says it was round the collar.
Go on in it.
That's where they got the possession.
He must have had his collar turned up. Still time. It's not over there. It was a lazy tackle by the stand-off.
Well, Luke Robinson has just kicked his first drop goal of the season, and it could be the one that takes Wigan into the next phase. This is Brent Groves, the man that Clarkey was talking about.
First.
Will he explode in the next 5 minutes? Darren Burns.
Caused a lot of problems already once he's been on.
Second.
They're out on the feet, both these sides.
Ian Sibbett.
Third.
Apo waits. Warrington fans on their feet, trying to draw the men towards that line. Wood. Cardis.
Now then, will it be a solo from this fella, Nathan Wood?
And down the short sides, giving it to Michael Wainwright. They have to chance the arm now.
Kick to the corner, surely.
They have to chance the arm. Hulse, and Hulse gets the ball away. Still, it's Warrington on the last. Fozzard goes wide. Sibbett. Now then,
Is that back to 6?
they haven't wiped it down. Warrington's still coming. It's the turnover.
Ooh, the crowd don't like it.
Brent Groves trapped in possession.
Well, they probably couldn't hear it, mainly because of the noise from his own fans.
I think he took the chance that maybe Steve Ganson was going to wipe the tackle count down. It has been done.
Certainly did.
No, I don't know whether it actually touched
Well,
it.
it was going. It doesn't matter. It was going into the tackle with that new rule.
Yeah.
Diffuses it, doesn't it?
Here's Carney.
Ooh, that was high there from Fozzard.
Third.
Just losing their cool a little bit of the Wolves.
It's Robinson again. He will kick to the corner, and it's a great kick as well. That's magnificent play from the young man. It just eats the clock up even more.
Warrington out of feet. Go on. Warrington out of feet.
Never mind the start of the future. This guy has arrived big time.
Get your lads here and then we'll stop the clock. Get them all here. We
Through the
stop the
junior
clock
ranks.
once you set.
The first game that we actually saw him, he came out there in the field of the play and he pushed Farrell out of the way, then he pushed Adrian Lamb out of the way. He wanted to take charge.
Warrington need a long-range try now. 3 minutes to go. And this is Ian Sibbett.
Second.
Full credit to the Wigan defence this second half, mainly due to the fact that they've kept Warrington deep down in their own quarter for so many long periods.
Back behind and hold.
And they just keep looking at this cherry and white defence coming at them.
Time is the worst enemy now for Warrington. Fozzard trying to get the ball away. It's a knock-on. Well, they have to chance their arm.
Wigan out of feet.
Trouble is they're chancing it way down near their own try line.
It was Westwood's knock-on, not Fozzard.
Fozzard offloaded. They've given it all, haven't they?
Yes, it's
Still
been
a
a
proud-
wonderful season.
Still a proud moment for this fella Paul Cullen.
He will be thinking what might have been. But Wigan, well, it's the Saints, by the looks of things now, here next Friday. Wow.
I think what will hurt more for Paul Cullen is the fact that he knows that 2 tries came to Wigan because
Second, hold on,
of
Nick.
silly play, errors from their own players where they could have just shut up shop.
This is
But
Craig Smith.
But they'll learn from it. The coach will, and all those players will.
What a weekend next weekend. The 2 biggest local derbies in the business. One of them with a grand final place at stake, and the one here for the next phase of the playoffs. Craig Smith. Craig Smith wraps it up for Wigan. It's Wigan Saints now. There is no doubt. And Warrington's brave campaign is over. Craig Smith crowns a terrific night for
step there from the prop forward. He's had an outstanding season, Craig Smith. And it's no coincidence that this fella has come alive since the moment that Mike Gregory took over the reins here at Wigan. He changed his style and certainly has changed his attitude. And he has been repaid with the try that seals it. And full credit to these. They are absolutely tremendous, these guys. These fans from Warrington. I'm not saying other clubs don't have great fans, but they've had it so bad over so many years, and they keep turning up year in, year out. Well done.
And there's not many of them leaving, by the way. Paul Cullen shakes the hand of Nick Fozzard. He will be at St Helens next year, will Fozzard. Paul Cullen will be masterminding another assault on the playoffs for Warrington at the new stadium. But it is Wigan's night. And Steve-O, you said at half-time, Mike Gregory, it was a time for him to prove himself as a coach. And in this second half, his tactics have been magnificent.
Certainly has. We needed more effort from the forwards. They grounded out, they did the hard work, but it was their defensive quality that have diffused everything that Warrington has done. Their kicking game in the second half, Wigan, has been outstanding. And when you bring on to the field of play from the substitutes bench, like Paul Johnson, Gareth Hock and Luke Robinson, he's got the speed when all the other players are getting extremely tired. He has the ability to just finish them off.
Danny Tickle's boot has made it 25-12. There's the final siren. It is a margin that doesn't really tell the full story. 13 points. Craig Smith's try, improved by Danny Tickle, wrapped it up for Wigan. They move on. It is Wigan against St Helens here at the JJB Stadium next Friday night. Warrington's brave effort came to naught in the end, but Wigan, they were not to be denied. Coming from 12-6 down at half-time, Nathan Wood, magnificent for Warrington, but they kept Warrington pointless in the second half and scored no less than 19 of their own. Wigan, the dark horses for the title, but the man of the match who goes home with the Tissot watch, it's a consolation prize for Nathan Wood. Here he is with Bill.
Nathan, Eddie's just described it as a consolation prize. It's not much of a consolation for what was a fantastic effort from Warrington, wasn't it?
Mate, to tell you the truth, I'm a bit embarrassed to get this. There's probably a few more deserving players than myself to get this, but yeah, we probably didn't finish off in the second half. Our completion rate was pretty low, and I think that probably told the tale for us. But credit to Wigan, they stuck their guns, they played well. Massive season for us, and pleasure to be with the boys.
And I think a lot of people thought you'd come here to Wigan and try and out-muscle them maybe early doors. That certainly wasn't the plan, was it?
Mate, we're just the toughest side one on the day. We stuck to our guns in the first half and we played really well. Second half we dropped away, probably a lot to do with my doing. So, you know, we learned a lot from this year, and we've done well to come a side that was fighting relegation last year to be where we are today. You know, hopefully all the top sides will take notice of us next year and we'll give it a good shake.
And it was only 1 or 2 moments in the game, wasn't it, really, that turned this?
Sorry, mate?
Just 1 or 2 moments in the game and that was it.
Mate, that's what it is with semi-final football. There's 1 or 2 instances when you might, you know, drop off the pressure, and good sides capitalise on that, and that's what Wigan did to us today.
Nathan, thanks very much.
Thanks, mate.
Well, Phil, I mean, the disappointment there was obvious for Nathan Wood and the Warrington side, but I mean, what a performance that defied all expectations, really, didn't it?
Well, if you consider the fact that Warrington have played Wigan twice this year, lost by 1 point and lost by 2 points, shows that their competitive side consistently they've been able to compete with Wigan, and they've done that again here tonight. I think you've just seen a fantastic game of rugby league, and the other thing I've noticed in the sudden death element of these playoff games is probably a lift in intensity in defence, particularly in the second half of games as players can see the clock ticking down. We saw just 1 try at St Helens yesterday, 2 tries here in the second half, a very late one to Craig Smith. Just goes to show these players are putting everything they've got into the 80 minutes to give themselves a chance of playing at Old Trafford.
Saints Wigan then, next weekend. Think about that one. What can we expect?
Well, it's what most people anticipated, didn't they, coming into this weekend, that St Helens would win and that Wigan would win. And both of them now really need to come here and focus on it. I think Saints probably need to improve, and Wigan would probably also agree that they need to improve on tonight's performance. They were pushed all the way by Warrington, but the high jump bar raises next week as they face their arch rivals here at the JJB.
Indeed it is, the bar will be raised.
What did you say at half-time? Did you have to give your guys a G-up?
I mean, there was no expletives. The boys knew exactly what they had to do. I thought our lack of composure and patience on the ball, you know, just proved costly. I mean, Warrington were outstanding today. It just shows that, you know, that they're in the top 6 because of merit. Unfortunately, we regathered, regrouped, and I thought second half we won, I won't say comfortably, but field position determined the outcome of the game.
And now you can look forward to a game against Saints next time.
I think both Ian and myself will want for probably a better completion and probably a better game, but no doubt I think the Speckies and everyone who watching Sky, I think they enjoyed today's game because ultimately it was a bashathon and it was close.
Mike, this job has been a baptism of fire for you, hasn't it?
Today certainly has. I mean, it's always going to be emotional with Warrington. You know, I've got a lot of feeling and affinity for the club. But you know, it's an 80-minute game, and cutthroat rugby is all about getting the win, and we did that.
Thanks, Mike.
Pleasure.